In a chilling glimpse into the dark world of crime, we witness the harrowing reactions of dangerous killer couples as they receive life sentences. These individuals, who once wreaked havoc on society, now face the consequences of their heinous acts. Their responses offer a haunting insight into the minds of those capable of such brutality. In a courtroom in Cleveland, Ohio, Judge Nancy Margaret Russo is about to deliver the sentencing for Larissa and Christopher Rodriguez. The couple stands accused of the horrifying crimes involving the death and burial of Lissa's 5-year-old son, Jordan. The events that unfolded are nothing short of appalling, leaving the judge and the court in disbelief. On that fateful night, Christopher took Jordan, who had special needs, to Larissa. Instead of seeking help for the unconscious child, Lissa gave him a cold shower and put him to bed. The next day, Jordan was found dead. Rather than calling 911, the couple chose to bury the child in their own backyard, concealing their actions from authorities for almost 2 months. The police received a tip from Christopher's brother, leading them to the Rodriguez's home.
Basically, him and his girlfriend buried the kid in the backyard.
Lissa initially claimed that Jordan was in Texas with his father, but her story quickly unraveled. The police returned to the scene and discovered the buried body, validating the information provided by Christopher's brother. During their sentencing, the Rodriguez couple displayed shocking behavior. Larissa received a sentence of 25 years in prison for counts of involuntary manslaughter, felonious assault, child endangerment, and abuse of a corpse. But it was Christopher's sentencing that left the courtroom in disbelief. Judge Russo expressed her horror at the crimes committed, highlighting the couple's disregard for the value of their children's lives. Jeremy and Christine Susan Moody, a married couple with ties to neo-Nazi beliefs, stand before the judge for their sentencing. They have been found guilty of first-degree murder for targeting Charles Parker, whom they found in a sex offender registry. In a shocking turn of events, the couple confesses to their crimes and reveals plans to kill more sex offenders. They face charges of murder, kidnapping, and burglary. Jeremy and Christine Moody plead for forgiveness, citing their belief in God's forgiveness and their desire to have a chance to grow together.
Your Honor, not a day goes by that I don't regret things that happened. And I know that what I've done is a sin, and I believe that God has forgiven me of it. I want the court to know that I've lost everything that matters to me, my children, my wife, and my family.
However, Judge Lee Alfred must make the difficult decision. He acknowledges the severity of their crimes and the danger they pose to society.
The Bible clearly states, "Thou shalt not kill." I'm sorry I broke that commandment, but I truly believe God has forgiven Jeremy and I hope you will too. Our preacher has taught me a lot, one of those things being that mercy will show up.
He believes that justice demands a life sentence, expressing concern that they would commit similar acts if released. In Ogden, Utah, Daya Millerberg's case unfolds, revealing a disturbing series of events. Daya, her husband, and their teenage babysitter, Alexis Rasmussen, engage in drug-fueled activities, leading to Alexis's tragic overdose. Fearing the consequences, Daya and her husband bury Alexis in a shallow grave. The case remains unsolved until a confidential informant provides crucial information, cracking the case wide open. Daya Millerberg faced sentencing for her involvement in a case of drug use and burial.
Your Honor, I'm not gonna make excuses for what I've done. I think it would only make things worse. I have no way to express the magnitude of...
She pleaded guilty to multiple charges, expressing her deep remorse and disgust for her actions. The judge acknowledged the severity of the situation and delivered a sentence of 4 years and 2 months in prison. While some may attribute her crimes to fear, the shocking behavior of Cyrus Matthews during his misdemeanor case takes things to another level. Cyrus Matthews found himself in court for misdemeanor charges related to a road rage incident. In a surprising turn of events, Matthews attempted to reason his way out of jail time before abruptly leaving the courtroom. His girlfriend chased after him, leading to a high-speed chase with the police. The situation escalated, resulting in a crash and Matthews being charged with aggravated assault. His escape attempt showcased his desperation to avoid imprisonment.
Onto Lyman from Maple. He was in an older gray four-door vehicle.
Breathe in and out, 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 breathe in and out. Watchers, I'm gonna need multiple squads.
I need help, sir.
Okay.
In a South China courtroom, Miss Yang and Mr. Hang, a divorcing couple, engaged in a heated argument with Mr. Hang's mother. The verbal dispute quickly turned physical, with punches thrown and chaos ensuing. Court officials struggled to maintain order, eventually separating the parties involved and calling the police. Both Mr. Hang and Miss Yang were charged with assault, receiving detention sentences.
Amidst the commotion, Miss Yang shifts her anger towards her mother-in-law and hits her on the head. This infuriates the husband, who lets her have a taste of the violence. Struggling to maintain order, a lone court official attempts to keep the trio separated. The court official lets out an exasperated chuckle. It's not every day that one gets to witness the drama in the courtroom. Both the mother and son are taken into custody and charged with assault.
From tearful remorse to attempts to escape or engage in physical altercations, these incidents reveal the unpredictability of human behavior. They serve as a reminder of the importance of maintaining order in the courtroom and ensuring that justice is served. Society must strive to prevent such incidents and promote a sense of respect and responsibility within the legal system. In April 2021, Sierra Halseth, then 16 years old, and her boyfriend Aaron Guerrero, 18, murdered Sierra's father, Daniel Halseth. The crime was particularly heinous, involving stabbing and an attempt to burn the body to cover up the evidence. The murder was discovered when Daniel Halseth did not respond to family communications. Investigators found extensive evidence at the crime scene, including tools purchased to dismember and burn the body, and surveillance footage showing the teenagers buying these items. The motive was believed to be related to the teenagers' desire to run away together, which Daniel Halseth had opposed. After committing the murder, Halseth and Guerrero fled Nevada, but were captured in Salt Lake City, Utah. Shortly afterward, both teens were charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, arson, and robbery. Aaron Guerrero pleaded guilty and was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 22 years. Sierra Halseth also entered a guilty plea, and due to her age at the time of the crime, received a similar sentence. Christine Paulilla and her boyfriend, Chris Snyder, were involved in a notorious murder case known as the Clear Lake Murders. On July 18, 2003, Christine Paulilla, along with her boyfriend, Chris Snyder, murdered 4 of her friends: Tiffany Rowell, Rachel Colorutis, Marcus Priscilla, and Adelbert Sanchez. The crime scene was in a home in the Clear Lake City suburb of Houston, where the victims were found shot multiple times. The murders went unsolved for 3 years until 2006, when Paulilla entered a drug rehabilitation center and confessed her involvement to a counselor, who then informed the police. Paulilla was arrested in July 2006 in a San Antonio hotel room. The motive for the murders was initially unclear, but it was suggested that jealousy and robbery could have been factors. Christine Paulilla was tried and found guilty of 4 counts of murder in 2008. She was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Chris Snyder was never tried. He died of a drug overdose in 2006 shortly after the investigation pointed towards him. The brutal nature of the crime and the fact that the murderer was someone from within the close-knit group of friends added to the horror. Marlene Olive and Charles Chuck Riley were involved in a shocking murder case from the mid-1970s in Marin County, California. In June 1975, Marlene Olive, who was 16 years old at the time, and her 19-year-old boyfriend, Chuck Riley, murdered Marlene's adoptive parents, Naomi and Jim Olive. The killings were particularly brutal, with Naomi being beaten and both victims being shot. The relationship between Marlene and her parents was reportedly turbulent, particularly with her strict father. Marlene and Riley, who was described as being infatuated with her, plotted the murders partly due to Marlene's desire to be free from her parents' control. After the murders, Marlene and Riley attempted to cover up the crime by burning the bodies and disposing of them in a remote area. They then went on a spending spree with the money they took from Marlene's parents. The crime was quickly linked back to Marlene and Riley, leading to their arrest. Riley confessed to the murders, claiming he was manipulated by Marlene into committing the crime. Marlene was tried as a juvenile and sentenced to the California Youth Authority until age 25. Riley was tried as an adult and received a life sentence. If you enjoy our content and would like to stay updated, we'd be thrilled if you could hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to us. Thanks for your support.